Hello, Songtem bros, Songtem britas, and Songtem brethren. This is Thomas Christ, and at long last, I'm going to update you on Songtember. It's been a little while. I'll say hello. We got Leela in the house. What's going on? The crazy eyes are going to haunt you all night. That's right. That's right. Probably these crazy eyes here. Anyway, I hope you're doing well. Anybody else that's out there? Looks like we got two or three people, a couple lurkers. That's all right. We lull here. We love our lurkers. So hey, Gregory O'Sullivan, what's going on? Yeehaww! All right, we got Leela and we got Gregory O'Sullivan. Hope all your Songtember projects are going well. I've been kind of, hey, Mix Club, what's up? Lurking. There's a lurker that we love. Hey, Jade Stars here. Lurking is fun. We love our lurkers. What can I say? Yeah, yeehaw! You're about to see what's going on with that. Pretty excited about that. But, yeah, I hope everybody's doing well on their Songtember projects. This song I've actually been done with for almost a week, and it's just been sitting here, and I've been working on another one. I've been working on a disco song. So Gregory is remixing Songtember song vocals. That's a good way to do things. That's a good thing to do. I wonder if anybody else is gonna show up. I'll probably play this at the beginning and then play it at the end, because sometimes probably bomb again soon. But it's like the middle of the day for Jade. It's late here, but late for normal people. It's like early evening for me. It's like, oh yeah, it's like 11:30 p.m. Yeah. I'm at kind of like my prime time right about now. When most people are like, oh, it's so late, I gotta go to bed. I'm like, oh, it's like early evening. I haven't even ate dinner yet. Jade was up at 4 a.m. I'm up at 4 a.m. every day. That's about my bedtime. That's probably gonna have to change soon, but anyway, we won't think about those things. Let's take a look at this song. So without further ado, I worked on a country song, because everybody's doing country songs. I don't know what's going on. It's the new thing. It's the new thing to do for Songtember, and I didn't want to be left behind in this movement to do. So I said, hey, you know what? I'm gonna do a country song, right? I'll do a country song, and so I did a song called "Holy Moly." And let's take a listen to this one. This is Holy Moly. I'm gonna mute myself and I'll play you Holy Moly for the first time ever, other than me and my wife. Nobody else has heard this, so here we go.
When I bet my dog, flat tire on a pickup truck. I drank the last of the whiskey, cause I've been real down on luck. Wanted to buy a lotto ticket, but I didn't even have a buck. So I ate the whole bag of doggy treats, cause I just don't give a well. Tried to listen to talk radio, but my stereo it was broke. I went to see a comedian, turned out I was the joke. I got me some fries from Mickey D's, they made me damn near choke. And I'm clean out of cigarettes, so I can't even have smoke. Holy moly, what's going on? I just can't figure it out. It feels like pandemonium, I just want to scream and shout. Guess I ran my mouth too many times, like it was in a big old rice. And now the only thing I got is the frown on my stupid face. Fell off my shirts, there are holes all through my jeans. All that's left in my cupboards is 2 cans of sardines. Had to mow the grass and ran over a nest of bees. Now I've got welts rising up from my forehead to my knees. Holy moly, what's going on? I just can't figure it out. It feels like pandemonium. I just wanna scream and shout. Yes, I ran my mouth too many times like it was in a big old rice. And now the only thing I got is the frown on my stupid face. Now pray, dear Jesus, but he said I can't be saved. Things keep going this way, put me in an early grave. Cut my face on the razor when I went to shave, and in the ocean at the beach got knocked down by a wave. Holy moly, what's going on? I just can't figure it out. It feels like pandemonium. I just wanna scream and shout. Yes, I ran my mouth too many times like it was in a big old rice. And now the only thing I got is the frown on my stupid face. Oh, holy moly, what's going on? I just can't figure it out. It feels like pandemonium. I just wanna scream and shout. Yes, I ran my mouth too many times like it was in a big old rice. And now the only thing I got is the frown on my stupid face. 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 The frown on my stupid face.
Yeehaww! There we go. That's holy moly. Mix Club says, I think you got it. Just need to send me some dip when you're singing. This is great. I love it. There you go. I mean, I grew up in right near the West Virginia border. I sing great country. Thank you. And hey, Jerry Gomes, what's going on? Howdy, partner. Yeehaw. Princess LDG, I need cowboy boots. Yeah, I need like some snakeskin cowboy boots, I think. And perfect caramel chewing music. They chew on caramels. And yeehaw. Brown chicken, brown cow. So anyway, yeah, there we go. Let's just take a little bit of a look at what I did here. We can take a listen to. I love this. I love the bass line. I think that the key to this whole thing was the bass line, and so that's kind of goes like this. But it does change up. So like when you get to the chorus, it kind of just goes like that through the first verse. And it kind of goes back to the more simple bass line. I'm trying to see what else it... I think it pretty much stays the same, but then I went a little crazier on this last, because I think on this last chorus the bass has to go a little bit nuts. Because if you listen to these old recordings, like there's this bass, you know, the bass is like crazy. They had some good bass players, like old 70s country music. All right, we got a question from Princess LDG. How do you mix the vocals so well? I'm trying to get better with mixing my soft vocals with my music. Yeah, I mean, part of it is practice. You have to really part of it is the recording. Part of it is you got to sing out. You can't be afraid to belt it out. And, if you're going to be wrong loudly and boldly. and you may kind of come up with a new kind of right. And the other thing is a lot of, like, if you were watching, like, some of Pete's streams the other day, a lot of layering of vocals and doubling of vocals. I double almost all the vocals. So we'll take a look at that. Here's like verse 1.
Well, I got bit when I pet my dog, flat tire on the pickup truck. I drank the last of the whiskey, cause I've been real down on luck.
So a trick that I learned, and I learned it from... I have to give some credit to both Jade Star and the Indigo Sunsets, actually. Because as soon as I heard this, as soon as I saw... Because she did a series for a while behind the mix, where a couple people came on and, like, showed what they did with how they produced their songs. And I saw this thing that Stu and Andy... Stu was doing with his vocals. And he would have one vocal... He would double the vocals down the middle, and he would have one layer that was pretty unaffected, and then the other layer would have like a bunch of delay on it, a little bit softer. And I was like, that's a brilliant idea. And I started doing that as soon as I learned that trick.
Well, I got bit when I pet my dog, flat tire on the pickup truck. I drank the last of the whiskey.
So this layer,
been real down on luck. Wanted to buy a lotto ticket, but I didn't even have a buck.
Has a little bit of delay. It has a little bit of reverb. There's some reverb on the whole mix, but that's pretty much it. Then this layer, which I call background vox here, has a ton of delay on it.
Well, I got bit when I pet my dog, flat tire on the pickup truck. I drank the last of the whiskey, cause I've been real down on luck. Wanted to buy a lotto ticket, but I didn't.
And when you put them together, the vocals sound huge, but it also increases the intelligibility, I feel anyway. Then when I get to the chorus, and this is pretty standard. I do this on a lot of my stuff. On the chorus, I split it out, so you'll have a left and a right vox that are actually panned, like about 50% left, 50% right.
Holy moly, what's going on? I just can't figure it out. It feels like pandemonium. I just want to scream and shout.
And then this also has some harmony.
Holy moly, what's going on? I just can't figure it out. It feels like pandemonium. I just want to scream and shout. Guess I ran my mouth too many times like it was in a big old rice. And now the only thing I got is the frown on my stupid face.
And there you go, Jade doing some awesome mod work there. And there's the actual episode where I learned that trick. It's a good trick. Blue Reality says, I'm not particularly loud. Had someone complain my waves were too skinny. And yeah, no, I always use two separate recordings, because if you can do there's a way to do it, to have use if you only have one vocal. Let's say you're producing somebody else's music that they've sent to you, so you don't necessarily have the ability to have two separate recordings, but you think, okay, this part needs to have a double. You can put a really short delay on one of them, and I mean just a few milliseconds, and that can approximate that effect, and you can even EQ it a little bit different and stuff, and it kind of works, but it's not ever going to be exactly the same, because when you record two vocals, the thing is they're never going to be identical. In fact, the most difficult thing is getting them to be, at least as far as like the way you sing the words and stuff, the same. But they'll never be exactly the same, and that's why it creates like a little bit of difference between the two. Kind of gives it this spacious sound and a bigger, fuller sound. So yeah, so that's pretty much what I did. Trying to see if there was anything different, but
Knelt and prayed, dear Jesus, but he said I can't be saved.
Now, what I did do is come in here on the final chorus. The final chorus I didn't do because you have to do something a little different usually on the last choruses. And so what I did is I actually took I didn't do the harmony on the first repeat of the chorus, and then I added a whole new harmony that was higher.
Oh, holy moly, what's going on? I just can't figure it out. It feels like pandemonium. I just want to scream and shout. Gets her in my mouth too many times like it was in a big old rice. And now the only thing I got is the frown on my stupid face.
So, there you go. That's pretty much what I did with the vocals. Yeah, there are doublers too. They can give you like approximate that effect. There's also the stereo lag plugin, which is free, and that can help with that. And there is like if you're in on iOS, if you're in GarageBand, there actually is like those Apple plugins. One of them is like a sample delay, I think it's called, and that one you can actually do the delay just by like milliseconds and create that kind of an effect. Hello to Ian's Guitar Shack, by the way. So yeah, what else did I want to talk about? Let's see. So there's some different things that are going on in this song, and I think what is this? This is the acoustic guitar, which isn't really an acoustic guitar, it's an app. I'll show you the app. I'm on the audio section here. I need to get over to, here's the, these are the virtual instruments. So this is an app called Ample Guitar. I can play it on the keyboard. This is a free app too. You don't have to pay anything for this. It sounds just like a real acoustic guitar though. So I think I did like a lot of arpeggio stuff, like let's take a listen to that guitar. And I did change up the guitar a good bit on different parts. So it's kind of at the end of the song here. Let's start at the beginning. We'll get to the banjo. So this pretty much doesn't change until you get to the second half of the first verse. I just tried to change this up with every verse, kind of. And then you get to the chorus. This kind of does that vamping thing. But then you get to verse 2. Now, verse 2, I actually had to, because it does this really fast, like, arpeggiated thing. Like, I wanted to do, like, this finger picking kind of a thing. And I couldn't play it fast enough. So I actually had to lower. This is a trick you can do. If you can't play something fast enough, if it's in MIDI, it's a little tougher if it's actually audio. But if it's in MIDI, you can just slow the tempo down. So I slowed the tempo down to, like, 80 BPM. Recorded this part and then sped it back up to 107. Because I wasn't playing that at 107. And then on verse 3, I did this. Right. So I added another note into the chord, another higher note. And I even changed up the chorus, the last chorus. I did this like, let's see. Did that pattern instead of, so. So yeah, so that's the acoustic guitar. Now somebody asked about, there actually is there's a harmonica in here. It's not in this song. I never ended up using it. Sounds cool, but I never used it. But so I actually have two banjos going on here, one panned right and one, so it's like dueling banjos. Let's see here. Let's get the, all right, here's the where the banjos are. Actually, they start out measure 3. And all that is this Flex plugin has banjo sound in the general MIDI library. So it's literally just a general MIDI banjo. You know, nothing mystical about it. And there's two kind of different melodies that play off of each other. And let's see. There's an organ in part of this. Let's see. So that just comes in on the choruses, I think. This is all in FL Studio on, I'm using it on M1 Mac, but it can work on PC as well. Hello, Roque, what's going on? Good to see you. So here's the organ part. Hallelujah. And it's literally just playing the chords. And then there also is this part I'm pretty proud of, the fiddle. So there is a fiddle as well, and all this is also just the Flex plugin with the fiddle, because there actually is a fiddle sound in the general MIDI library. So this is what the fiddle is doing on, I think this is the first chorus. So that's it. I like what kind of happens with this on the last chorus. I bring in 2 parts. They actually play banjo and fiddle mixed club. That's cool. I like kind of what the organ and fiddle does at the end. This kind of like tag on the end here. So yeah, so that's basically what's going on in this song. Blue Reality asks, what level of FL Studio do I have, and are all these things you are using come native? So everything that I'm using, I did upgrade to the all plugins version of FL Studio, because I just kind of felt like, I knew it was going to happen, and I was just like, yeah, I'm going to want all this stuff, so I might as well get it. The only thing that I don't have is in the Flex plugin. See how there's free... I have all the free stuff that's already installed. There's also store. So these things here I don't have yet. I would have to pay. That's like $14.95, $11.95. These are like preset packs. 320 presets, $11.95. Eventually I'll probably get all these, but I don't have them yet. Especially this analog one here. And there's some drum slice. That would be cool to have. But see, that's another $14.95. I think it's like, it's a little more than $400. I'll just check real quick here. It might not, it probably will, hopefully it'll show up for me. Since I already have it. Let's see. So, I think I'm doing an infomercial here for, okay, let's see. Oh, see, it's not showing me the price because I already have it. Anyway, I think it is around $400 for the full version. No, that was that what I was showing you there. It's just $11.95, like $11.95. Because these are just like sound packs that I could get for this Flex thing. That's the only thing I don't have. Everything else I have, and then stuff like this. This is an external plug-in here, Ample Guitar. But Ample Guitar 2 Lite is free. So you just look up Ample Guitar, you'll find it. It's 100% free. It does work. Now, I'll tell you one thing with Ample Guitar, it does work in GarageBand. But there's a trick that you have to do to get it to work. I don't even remember what it is. Now, I know with Logic it'll just work. But with GarageBand, for whatever reason, there's a specific thing that you had to do. You had to like copy and paste the files or something into a place where GarageBand would see it. It was weird. I don't know why it just didn't work, but you have to you have to do it a specific way. Oh, there you go. 400. I think that price went up. I don't think it was that much. I know I didn't pay that much for it. And Gregory says Cubase is 40% off this month. I know some people who use Cubase. I've only dabbled with it years ago, but I never really used it. I've used Cubasis. That's different. Yeah, I've used that. I don't have 3 though. I only have 2. So, but Cubase is 40% off this month if you want to get that. So what I'm hearing is my iPad doesn't quite cut it. I mean, you can find ways to do things if you want to do them. I would recommend for an iPad, I think, if you want to get all these different kinds of sounds. I've been telling people this for years. Nobody will listen, but get the BS16i, the Bismarck BS16i. It's just a very simple app that it's like $7.99 or something. It it's a sound font player. There's a couple apps that do this, so I don't want to say it's just that, but that's the one that I know off the top of my head. Get the BS16i. It's a sound font player. It comes preloaded with a full general MIDI sound set that's very good. And you can use that. And you get all these different sounds, banjos, fiddles, all the stuff that's in the general MIDI specification you get, and it's only like $7.99. And the sounds are perfectly good, especially in a mix. They're not the top quality sounds like you would get with like iSymphonic or something like that, but for most things, they're going to be good enough. The other thing I would say is this, because it's a sound font app, you can put different sound fonts in it. So, and sound fonts, because it's kind of an outdated technology, you can find dozens of sound fonts on the internet. Most of them are for free. And you can get sound fonts of synths. Now, some of them are going to be crappy because that's the nature of things that are free. there is a weeding through process of sound fonts, but you'll find good ones. You definitely will find good ones. Yeah, the SF2. I haven't seen too many SFZ files, but they're out there. That's Sforzando, because there was a different plugin that does Sforzando. But yeah. If you look up, because first of all, there's dozens and dozens of different general MIDI sound fonts, and then beyond that, there's specialized ones that have, like, there's one that's I think it's like a 2 or 5 gig or something. It's just a grand piano, but it's like a really, really high quality grand piano. Probably gonna stumble through Cakewalk on my live here soon. I might need pointers from the audience. Okay. KQ. Yeah, I mean, there are definitely other sound font players, but the BS16i is the one that I know. So I'll just say that one. Yeah, Plogue. There was one that Jade did a review on recently. That was kind of like very similar to the BS16i. It was just another sound font player. And yeah, Ravenscroft is great as far as piano. There's some new pianos that have come out that seem to be like maybe even slightly better than Ravenscroft. I don't know. Ravenscroft is very solid though. Anyway, any other questions that anybody has? You should be listening, Mix Club. But what the hell is it? So a sound font player plays. There's a .sf2 file, sound font, and sound fonts used to be used back in the days of like Creative Sound Blaster sound cards. You used to have these things for video games, and you actually loaded the sound font onto the audio card, and they had like all the sounds that you would have like on a general MIDI keyboard. So you'd have pianos, electric pianos, you'd have strings, you'd have horns, different orchestral instruments, drums, timpanis, things like was like channel 10 was designated just for drum sounds, and you couldn't use any other sounds on that channel but drums, drum kits. So basically, you would load a sound font into these old sound cards because it was too much processing to, like, you're gonna play a video game to process the audio and process what's happening visually and stuff, and the actual gameplay, physics and stuff. That was too much for old computers to handle. So they offloaded the sound font onto the sound card, and then it would just be a MIDI file, and it would send the MIDI information to the sound card, and then the sound card would actually play the sounds without taxing the actual like computer processor. So that's where sound fonts come from. Now we have players that will just play them through the regular means, like a plugin type of thing. Oh, Mr. Smith, just here to say good night. Oh, it's 5 a.m. Yeah, that's pretty late. Have a good night. Yeah, so that's basically like the short history of sound fonts. They're pretty outdated these days, but the nice thing about that is there's lots of them. Nobody will pay for a sound font in 2022. So whatever existed, and there's a lot of pretty high quality stuff that exists. It's just out there and it's free. So I hope that answers your question. I think I'm going to wrap this thing up. Yeah, it's 12:09 a.m. here as well. So I'm going to wrap this thing up. And yeah, so that's the new song. Holy moly. If you didn't catch it, go back to the beginning, and you'll be able to watch you'll be able to hear the full mix of the new song. Jerry Gomes said, "Well, I tore as the new Cowboy Troubadour." Well, I mean, it's part of Folk U, so it'll, whenever I do Folk U stuff, it'll be in there. But I may throw it in Thomas Christ Live. I have Thomas Christ Live coming up tomorrow night, by the way, 7:30 p.m. So right here on this channel. Maybe I'll try one of these songs. I don't know. Give it a shot. Anyway, I hope y'all have a great night. Keep working on play it again. All right, we'll go out. We'll play it one more time, and then but I'm gonna say goodnight to you right now, because after the song ends, I'm gonna wrap up here. But I'll play it again for you. So this is the new song. I gotta get everything This is the new song called Holy Moly. And hello, John Frank Songs as well. Have a good night, man. All right. Have a good night. I'm going to go out on this new song, Holy Moly.
When I bet my dog, flat tire on a pickup truck. I drank the last of the whiskey, cause I've been real down on luck. Wanted to buy a lotto ticket, but I didn't even have a buck. So I ate the whole bag of doggy treats, cause I just don't give a well. Tried to listen to talk radio, but my stereo it was broke. I went to see a comedian, turned out I was the joke. I got me some fries from Mickey D's, they made me damn near choke. And I'm clean out of cigarettes, so I can't even have a smoke. Holy moly, what's going on? I just can't figure it out. It feels like pandemonium, I just want to scream and shout. Guess I ran my mouth too many times like it was in a big old rice. And now the only thing I got is the frown on my stupid face. Shirts, there are holes all through my jeans. All that's left in my cupboards is 2 cans of sardines. Had to mow the grass and ran over a nest of bees. Now I've got welts rising up from my forehead to my knees. Holy moly, what's going on? I just can't figure it out. It feels like pandemonium, I just want to scream and shout. Yes, I ran my mouth too many times like it was in a big old rice. And now the only thing I got is the frown on my stupid face. Neil prayed, dear Jesus, but he said I can't be saved. Things keep going this way, put me in an early grave. Cut my face on the razor when I went to shave, and in the ocean at the beach got knocked down by a wave. Holy moly, what's going on? I just can't figure it out. It feels like pandemonium, I just want to scream and shout. Yes, I ran my mouth too many times like it was in a big old rice. And now the only thing I got is the frown on my stupid face. Oh, holy moly, what's going on? I just can't figure it out. It feels like pandemonium, I just want to scream and shout.